Um, Hello. So this is my first video. I'm just going to be talking about some of the stocks I found interesting over the last couple of weeks, or different areas that I thought were interesting in a few of the markets. So the thing I'm going to be talking about today is Footlocker, which I invested in the other week. Um, so yeah, I'm just going to run through some of the things some of the reasons which led me to do that, just so I've got it to look back on. Yeah, so the first point was that it pays a dividend of 2.85%. So when I was looking to sort of rotate out my portfolio when the Fed was announcing high inflation rates, there was a few things I was looking for, which was low PE ratios, so they were good on fundamentals. Yeah, and high dividend stocks basically. And I thought this fit both those pretty well. So its PE ratio when I looked into it was I think it was like 4.82, maybe a bit higher. Um, since then it's gone up to 6.07 as you can see there. Um, but yeah, that was one of the main reasons I thought it was undervalued at least, especially considering it's like 30, I think it's 33% from its all-time high. Um, but yeah, so moving on from that, I looked at its looking at the most recent quarterly report. I think it was quarter 3, 2021. See that sales have actually increased by year on year, whilst they haven't increased much in this quarter. Year on year, they're still increasing by quite a bit. So I think that's again very good sign. Don't see anything wrong with that. Um, However, so the main reason I believe it's actually undervalued is because Footlocker relies really heavily on its in-store sales, and obviously one from COVID, which again is a reason because as they unravel, I expect their revenue to get even higher. Like obviously 5,359 um, will be well, it has to have affected their sales really. So I'm expecting it to, and as we get back to normal, provided Omicron doesn't do anything, and I think there's another secret variant, as long as that doesn't spiral out of control, I think they should be completely fine, and it should carry on growing at an increasing rate really. Um, but yeah, so the main reason I think it's undervalued is mostly due to um, the sales by channel. So if we look here, you can see it's the in-store sales that are year on year that have increased massively so much, which is obviously going to play a part that COVID rules and stuff have been relaxed in the last year. Um, but yeah, so obviously that's the case. But what I don't understand is why. Well, the reason I invested in it is because it's trading at like a 33% low, whilst its revenue's increasing. Um, so my main idea with this stock was I was probably going to hold it for round about the next year, similar to something I was thinking with Disney. Um, and obviously, I do still think like the high street's going to die eventually, but especially considering this Foot Locker's P ratio compared to the industry average of 10.35. When I looked at it, it was a high end of 4. Um, I think it's just ridiculously overvalued. It's almost like, yeah, I just think it's almost there. Too many people betting on its downfall. Essentially, I think too many people think it's going to do really badly and have just almost overlooked it because they just think it's another one of those stores that's not going to go, that's going to be degrading into the long future. But I'm thinking of only holding it for about a year. Um, yeah, so moving on to people that definitely will know a lot more than me. So these are the analyst predictions. These are only over the last 3 months, and I can't see the most recent ones because I'm a student with no money, can't afford premium. Um, but yeah, as you can see, the low forecast is 42, and average is 62.33, which is still massive upside, especially considering how badly the market's done in the last week. Um, but yeah, I think this one's done really well since I've picked it up. I think it's up 6%. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And yeah. Oh yeah, last point. I've only just I'm getting into this. I've sort of watched this kind of thing for about 6 to 9 months. The last 6 to 9 months really. And I'm sort of still learning. So I know there's a few terms that I don't really understand that I need to look more into. But I've been watching things like what was it earnings yield and cash flow yields. I don't really know what they mean, but apparently they're a big bonus towards Footlocker as well. Um, but yeah, um, in the future I'm probably going to be looking at more um, stocks in real time, so things that I think that will be do well right now. But yeah, thank you very much for listening. I think this is on private anyway, so it should just be me listening to it. But yeah, thank you.